welcome to IT Management. And again, this is a series called IT Management. But one of the most important parts of IT management is project management. And if you're in a smaller company, and again, when I say smaller, I've been in companies that did $600-800 million a year consulting on project management and other issues. It's you end up the same place. The manager is still project managing. So what really is the foundation of project management? It is getting things done efficiently. Efficiently meaning, that's an adverb with a lot of different meanings. As close to on time as possible and as close to or under budget as possible. At the end of the day, that's why you're there. If the team doing the project could do it themselves without you as a project manager or a scrum master or lean coach, they wouldn't have you there. So as a manager, sometimes they don't, and you have to do these things. So I've done this in software development mostly, but also infrastructure projects, marketing projects for about 15 years now. And I've studied the PM Book of Knowledge. I'm a Scrum Master, something I didn't think I'd ever do because I didn't think the certification for some of as many years as I'd done Scrum mattered, but it did. I learned stuff there as well. And those two things, the Book of Knowledge and the Scrum certification, the Scrum, it's not a methodology, but that framework, they both talk about values and how people feel and getting along, and all that's very important, but it's always secondary. The big thing is getting things done on time and efficiently. And these other things build on, if you can do that and keep your team productive by better communications, being able to iterate through and come back on things, which you could always do. You could always do that even more. But the problem with that iterative approach before, there was no good framework to do it, and that's what some of the more agile things did. But the first thing about it is you still have to keep in the back of your mind at all times, I need to get this done, and I need to help this team get this done. That's the foundation of project management. That's why it's there in the first place. And again, I want to loop back. Respect, courage, the values and the pillars of Scrum. Same thing in the Book of Project Management, PM Book. It's called the Project Management Book of Knowledge. And this is something I talk about in IT management as well. If you're managing a project, you still want to avoid the poison pill of a contentious environment. And that's why a lot of these add-ons around the project management methodology and frameworks, these add-ons of values, of respect and courage and listening to people are there. It makes for a more productive environment. So your job is always going to be walking that line. And I see this in Scrum Masters a lot. You're not the project manager, you're not the boss, you're the master of the Scrum process, you're not the boss. But that doesn't mean you're not going to have to make tough decisions and you're not going to have to get on people from time to time. It's just the way it is. So everybody that starts out, especially in just Scrum, without doing project management first, has this notion that I need to be nice to people, and you do. And I need to listen to people, and you do. And I need to remove some of their impediments to get... All of these things are true. But why? So we can get the damn project done and make the owners, shareholders, and others with a vested interest money. That's it. That's why I think in my last job as a consultant, I had equity in the business. I owned part of it. I wasn't the majority owner, but I knew if these things got done, the business made more money. Even for your team, you have to tell them that every once in a while. Hey, if this makes us more money, if the company does well, we all do well. There's no debate about that. There are companies where that's not true, but they never last. So in doing that, there's a couple of things you have to look out for and hone your skills on. Just like everything else, Project management is a skill that's going to take you years to actually perfect. So you're not going to, your first job, you're not going to do very well at it. You're just trying to avoid your disasters. So what can you do to bring, especially if you're a manager, to bring that I need to get this thing done thing, and I need to make the team comfortable? What are some things that we can do to make that happen? The first thing you need to do before you even start the project, once you've got an understanding of what the project is, expect there to be problems, both in the project itself and the technical aspects of it, in the requirements were gathered, they're going to miss things. Expect those kind of problems. Then, day one, expect there to be friction between people. Expect there to be contention so that when it happens, you can get a handle on it quickly. If you expect something to go wrong, you're always going to be better prepared to deal with it. That's one. Expect there to be problems. I don't mean that in a soft way. Get that in your mind as part of it. There are going to be problems in this project, big problems that I'm going to have to deal with. The second thing is to buy into the goal and the value of the project. If you've ever had to do sales before, if you don't buy into it, it's incredibly difficult to sell it. If you do buy into it and you believe in the value of what that goal is, you're going to have a much easier time selling that product or service. You really get in your head, and I've been this way where I'm helping these people. I'm doing these guys a favor. Yes, it's a $300,000 project, but this is going to make them a lot more money. It's going to change their business. It's going to make their life easier. So that can be difficult if you don't really understand the project. So take that time to look at the end of the project. What is that value? What is that goal? What is this bringing? Really, the AI machine, nothing's going to help you with this. You have to use your own mind and see it visually. Try to take your words out of it. See it in use. The last thing is part of this, and this is difficult too, but you can do this and you get better and better at it. Bring that finished project, if it's a piece of software, if it's a new infrastructure, if it's a marketing plan, every day work on seeing the end of that project. Again, you want to visualize this, see it at the end, and draw that end forward into today, into right now. If you can keep doing that, the little pieces that you're doing don't seem so abstract. And when there's abstraction and pieces of your project as you're going through in different modules, it makes it very difficult to become engaged. You're like, why am I doing this? But if you can bring the finished project in your mind and see it clearly, those little modules become Lego building blocks that, well, without this, I don't have my finished project. I think those three things for the new project manager or for the IT manager that's also managing projects, if you can take time to get those squared away, I always talk about wrappers, put wrappers around things. Don't get lost in the weeds, don't get lost in the details as a project manager or as an IT manager. See the end result, see the big picture, and bring it into today. I hope this helps. I've got a few more videos, quite a few more, on project management because it's such an important part of your job. And even I've been in situations before where the company gets bigger and your project manager's working underneath you and reporting to you. You still have to know what's going on there. You still have to do these early things of seeing the project. That way you'll commit the right resources and you'll be a much better facilitator for people who are facilitating things for you. But never forget the entirety of this, which I started with. The cold, hard, ugly truth is your job's not to make people feel good. It's a part of it, but only in as that it increases productivity. Your job is not to build the perfect project or solution or piece of software. You don't have money for that. Even in big companies, there is a budget to this. Get it done efficiently. It takes years to understand that. And this is not so much for the Scrum Masters, but when you're actually a project manager or a product owner, there are things in there that are not critically important, that cost a lot of money. Shrink those down or get them out. Get it done efficiently. At the end of the day, that is the only way you're ever going to be evaluated. It is the single metric. If you finish a project and the team goes to your boss or the president of the company, boy, that guy's the best project manager, the best scrum master, the best agile coach we've ever had. We just love him. She was great. She was so much better than this other guy. This guy we got now is great. If the project was 4 months late and $4 million over budget or $40,000 over budget, it doesn't matter. You're looked at as you can't get things done. Again, a lot more of these coming up and trying to time together. And then after this series of however many videos, it could be as many as 10, I'm going to get into small business management, which is another animal entirely, but it goes back to the core. I hope you got a little bit out of this. I know these are short. You're managers, you're busy people. That's why I have to keep them short. But we'll expand on this. We'll break this one down a little bit like we did in the AI one and give you a little bit more tangible pieces that you can use every day. Thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate it.